Hey there, this is Ray with Ray's Guide, and it's got a bit of a story here. I was helping out with the Xeno threat mission and trying to back up my freelancer to door the wrecked Starfare, and I bumped a little Aurora, and that Aurora bumped a Starfare, and one or both of them must have had been full to the gills with that blue stuff. Next thing I knew, all three of us had blown the kingdom come, and I had myself a destruction of property and unintentional loss of life. Needless to say, it was not my finest hour. So here I am in the Hoosgow, the big house, the slammer. And like most things, it represents an opportunity. And one of the basic philosophies of Ray's is everything should be approached as though it's an opportunity, an opportunity to make money. And prison, if you hand it literally like a pro, is a money-making opportunity. So if you ever been up to Klescher before, I have not been very often. It's been a while since the last time, actually. In this big area here, you got two main exits and this big console or watchtower, whatever it is, in the middle of it. And there's a couple consoles here. It'll tell you how much time you still have on your sentence. Now, my general philosophy is to serve the time and make the money. Yes, I am indeed talking right, making money. But the money you're making in prison is called merits. And it's not that hard. I'll tell you about near the end of the article about how to actually turn those merits into credits. But there's two big exits out of this main area. The one's inmate processing, and that's where you'll go when you're done with things and ready to leave. We'll talk about that later. And the other is the work mines, and this is the direction you're going to go. And there'll be a branch here, and you turn to the left. Now, there's also a little office you'll pass along the way here, and you can peek in the windows and get a little code. Obviously, if guys are running a prison, they sure don't know much about security. Now, you'll hear a lot of folks talking about escaping from prison. I'm not going to talk about escaping from prison because, first of all, these old knees don't do jumping very well, and so any attempt at filming myself trying to escape this prison will devolve into high farce. But also, it is not really a wise use of your time or money because a lot of people will brag about how quick they can get to the surface, but that's only step one. You still have to get, once you got to the surface, you still have to get outside of the security radius of the prison, usually by like stealing a rover, and then you got to convince somebody to come pick you up, which won't be easy without tipping off the bounty hunters. And then you got to go someplace and get yourself a security key, which is not only not free, but not easy. Then you got to get yourself to a security outpost and hack away your crime stat. Again, all while hoping no bounty hunters are going to be chasing you down and collecting you and send you right back to Klescher where you started from. So it ain't a very good use of your time because after you spend all that time for all those things, you're really back where you started from. You ain't earned anything and you're out the cost of a security key. But I'm going to talk instead about how you use money. You get money. How you get money out of being in prison. Now, the money is initially called merits, but I will be showing you at the end how it's very easy to convert those merits into credits. Now, there's going to be two things you're going to be doing, and they're going to form a loop. Kind of a loop. So usually when I start out, you'll get a mining tool. Now, occasionally there'll be a problem with them giving you the mining tool. And I found that usually what works best is you just go back to bed, catch 40 winks, wake up again, click on the terminal again, and usually the second, possibly the third time, you will get a proper mining tool to work with. Now, usually the first thing I do is, unless I am given a repair opportunity right away, I'll just go ahead and start mining nearby on one of the three tunnels. Doesn't really matter which one. And mining is, if you've never done it before, this is a great way to get your toes wet into what it takes to be doing mining without having to actually spend any money, because you get the mining tool for free. Again, what you're usually trying to do is use your volume control, your power control. You want to get the power up out of the white zone into the green zone and not get it into the red zone. Once it's in the green zone will fill. We're talking about the left-hand side of the display here. The green zone will fill from the left to the right. until it gets full, and then the rock will crack and you'll get the gems. Now, when you keep it, you want to keep it out of the red zone, of course. If it gets in the red zone, there's an advantage to hand mining that all you need to do is just flick your wrist a bit to the side to take the laser beam off the rock. Can't do that quite so easy in a ship or a buggy, but it's real easy in hand mining just to regulate yourself a little bit by flicking off. So usually, as soon as I get into the green, I'll flick the gun away from the rock, then bring my power down, and then carefully bring it back and get it back into the green zone and get my rocks. Now, you just pick up the rocks by interacting with them. Sometimes, before you stop picking up the rocks, there's a good hint. I always store my gun before I start picking up the gems. That way, there's no ability to accidentally drop your gun, have it fall in a crack, and then have trouble getting your tool ever back again. Don't want to have to go through that trouble. So again, you always stow your mining tool first. Then you go ahead, you can interact with the rocks. Just click on them and select stow. Sometimes stowing isn't an immediate option. You can either try again, or what often will work is if you first interact and say carry or inspect, and then say stow. Stow almost always works on the second of the two actions. So carry first and then stow if you're having any trouble. And there's 3 different kinds of rocks. I usually just collect all of them. Yeah, some are more important than others, but I'm usually just kind of biding my time here and picking up what opportunities I have until I get a mission to repair one of their oxygen generators. Now, they got these oxygen generators deep in the caves, and they're always breaking, and the staff is too lazy to actually do it themselves, so they'll actually give you a fair number of merits to go and repair these things. By the way, merits, you earn 1 merit every second just for keeping your nose clean. All right, as long as you don't cause any trouble or try to escape or whatever, you get 1 merit for every second. So therefore, 1 merit is the equivalent of 1 second of just serving your time. That means 3,600 merits is worth 1 hour. And that's a number to keep in the back of your head. 3,600 merits equals 1 hour. And you can earn that pretty fast, actually. So you get one of these missions to go and fix one of their oxygen machines. Now, you need to understand a little bit of the terminology and the signage here. So it says there are 3 main tunnels, three expanses, and there are 1, 2, and 3 to the left as you proceed clockwise around after you come into the work mines. So first off the left here, you see mine path number 1. You come around the corner, you see path number 2, which would be straight ahead from how you came into the work mines. And you go further around, sort of close to the exit, and you get to see mine group number 3. Now then there's a series of tunnels and chambers. So and each of them will be marked with like 01, 02, 03, so forth. So on each one of these 3 paths, you'll have tunnel 1, which will take you to chamber 1. Now from chamber 1, you will have various dead ends, but then also a tunnel number 2. And then tunnel number 2 takes you to chamber number 2. And then from chamber number 2, there'll be some more dead ends, which will be unmarked and have an X at the end, glowing X. And there will be a tunnel 3. Tunnel 3 takes you to, as you might expect, chamber 3. Chamber 3 takes you to, again, as you would expect, tunnel 4 to chamber 4, tunnel 5 to chamber 5, and tunnel 6 to chamber 6. Eventually, you will find, deep in the tunnel, you're going to eventually find your oxygen machine. And it'll look like an unusual little sort of kiosk thing. You come up to it, and it'll be giving you its error screens. You give the thing a swift kick, and it'll hum and bizz and bleed itself, and then be ready to roll again. Now, since you've already spent all this time running down here, and you got yourself a half-empty oxygen tank, might as well go ahead and fill it up. So here you are. You're in, and you've just earned 5,000 merits. In other words, about 1.25 hours just for running down here in the tunnel. So here you are down in the tunnel. You got a fixed oxygen machine, so go ahead and fill up your while you're at it. You're deep in the tunnel, you got a full oxygen bottle, so what to do? Well, head back towards the start, but do so while mining your way along the way. And that forms your loop. Get a mission, run down, kick the oxygen machine, fill it up, mine your way back. Get another mission, run down, fix the mine machine, give it a kick, load up your bottle, mine your way back. Each one of those loops will probably earn you, could be close to 10,000 merits. Could easily, in one loop, earn yourself close to 3 hours worth of prison time. Now, by then, you don't have 3 hours prison time, but again, your point is that you're earning merits. Now, when you finally have served your time and you're ready to give up doing the prison loops, head out. Now, here's the most important thing. If you just walk out the door holding these merits on your account, they're going to get taken away. All right? And that's not what you want to do. You want to earn these merits because typically, if you are wise about how you sell them, these merits are probably worth 2 to 3 credits each. Find a motivated buyer, he may pay well more than 2 or 3 credits each. That's someone who is both criminal, rich, and impatient. And there's more than a few of those guys around. But you can't walk out with the merits. Number 1 rule, do not walk out with your merits. There's 2 ways you can do this. First of all, you can sell them to somebody before you walk out, if you find a buyer real quick, or you use a handoff technique. I have someone outside who will hold my credits while I walk out the door, and then he'll give them back to me. I'll lose a little bit on the tax to him and then a little bit more on the taxes. He sends it back to me. But I'll basically be able to use this handoff technique to walk out the door and not have them take away my credits. And so you trade credits using the same MO trading app in your mobile glass. You just choose, instead of choosing credits, you choose merits. And you just transfer merits. There'll be the small fee, usual fee for how many merits you're trading. And so you hand off your merits and then sell them. And again, what you're going to be looking for here, and if you don't want to sell your merits, there's another thing you can do. It's just to hang on to them. Because here's the thing. If you've got merits, when you're sent to prison, you can apply those merits right away. You can apply them right away to your prison. Just walk right out. And the person that might be buying these merits from you, they don't have to have an immediate need for them anyhow. You can pre-buy your way out of your next prison sentence by buying merits from somebody. Think of that. I hear lots of people complaining, this jail is so boring. Can I just pay to get out? Well, the fact of the matter is, you can, just by buying merits from somebody that got extra ones. So now that I've handed off my merits to someone who's going to hold on to them, I can just walk right down the door here, hit the button, and the fine people at Klescher are going to take me to Everest Harbor, and I'll wake up in a bed there. And that's how you approach prison like a pro, literally. So stay safe, keep it real, and I'll see you in the verse. This is Ray with Ray's Guide.